crafty friends, it's Sharon Luska here from My Crafty Greetings. We're going to do a Scrappy Tales video today, and this is the newest release, the spring release, and oh my gosh, it's a book related grad slash Mother's Day slash flowers slash teacher appreciation, and I absolutely love this die set. There is so much usefulness with this. Oh my, I just think it's the best. And even just these two little brackets here that come from the bottom of the book, they're meant to make the bottom portion of the book, but I think they would be so cool just themselves on a card. So I'm reinforcing them with like I've got a gold piece, and I'm just laminating it over top of a thicker piece of white paper. And then this is some very kind of weird decorative thin paper that I have. It's kind of mottled and kind of old looking, and it's navy blue, and I thought it would look super cool on the book. And then I pulled myself out some parchment paper to glue onto this 100-pound Nina Solar White base. So I kind of wanted to make it look like a book that had like actual moving pages. Oh, sorry about my crazy hair there. I've like been the biggest frizz bomb lately. It's not even funny. I'm trying to find a hairdresser. I've been used to cutting my own hair, and I'm finally at the point where I can't do that anymore. I need some help. So anyways, good point here is if you're going to put in colored pieces when you're paper piecing and there's an edge showing, make sure you take a marker. It doesn't have to be exactly the match, but take yourself a little bit of a marker and go around the edges, and it'll give you a much better finished product. So I'm going to be cutting some of the extra bits off of this parchment paper, and it is just regular kind of what is it? Office Max parchment paper, Office Max, Staples if you're in Canada, Staples, I don't know why Staples Center is in the US if it's a Canadian entity, but I'm so confused about that. But anyways, you can get this just regular parchment weight paper. There we go. I can speak English most of the time. So anyways, I'm just gluing down the kind of loose leaves at the bottom here, and then I'm going to cover all of the pages at the top. I'm just basically laminating one layer of the parchment on so that it just fits in. And you can see that's why I cut away all the extra pieces, because I wanted them to fit together. Now, I did think it might be cool to put a little bit of gold on the edges of the pages. Now, there is a multitude of ways that you can do this. I'm just using gold acrylic paint, artist acrylic paint. You can use craft acrylic paint. You can use you know, embossing powder. You can use, what is that? The wax that Tim Holtz came out with, super wax or whatever, ally wax, I'm not sure what it is. You know the one I'm talking about though. If you want to make it like high tech, make it high tech. If not, use what you got. That's what I do. I have fun with all my little doodads that I have in my craft room, and I use whatever. Do not feel like you have to use all crafty supplies. Use whatever you can get your hands on. So I'm just gluing down the center portion of the book fold here, and then I also was gluing down the extra loose leaves at the bottom, and you can see that I also gave those a little bit of a zhuzhing to get them to poof up, just so that there's some extra layers there. Now these ones I'm just going to bend them slightly, and then I'm going to glue them over top of the layer that's below. And even though it's really thin paper, it's just going to give it a little bit more of a look of pages that are just kind of flopped open. So you can see there it's got some volume to it. And I'm looking at this and thinking, gosh, there's so many things you can put in here. Fairy friends I was excited about, but apparently they're sold out. But the potted plants, which is in the, or potted flowers, and the rain boot flowers are gorgeous to add to this. The Spread Your Wings 6x8 stamp set, the penguins, the layering penguins duo, there's the two of them. A collection of egg carton seedlings, and then the rain boot and potted plants flower sets are gorgeous together in this little book. And the forest trees cover plate die set. I don't know if you don't have these, why do you not? bunny silhouettes popping out of those books if we had the right color background. And if you don't have forest trees, any trees would work to make this storybook looking type of thing. The A7 snow cabin spinner, adorable for happy new home. And then I had a Alice in Wonderland idea here, and this is the Skull and Ghost add-on, as well as the cat and jack-o'-lantern duo set here, and that little kitty cat, oh my goodness, popping into the book. Backside BFF dies, a story of friends and spooky ghosts. Could be like a, Halloween tale. Layering cardinals would make a beautiful storybook Christmas. And, there's 2 different dies there. And then the Eiffel Tower, Paris Eiffel Tower. You've got the little bike, the street lights, which you could have coming from the back, the Eiffel Tower itself, and then the boat porthole set here. Oh my God, that little boat, and then the clouds you could make so cool. And then the tiki shop add-on, if you have that, pull this out and you can make the coolest masculine card as the story that lies ahead. Write your own story, but there's all these cool things here, especially if someone's turning 21. There's like lots of drinks, but I love this old beaten up sign die. Oh, it's so cool. Teacher Appreciation Bookmark Die Set. This is a new one that came out with this release. How cool would that be to have the book and then the apple and some of the little bits like the, calculator. You got Mr. and Mrs. and all the little letters here. So cool. But Christmas truck is what I pulled out because I wanted to pair it specifically with this floral bunch here. I was looking at that going, that looks like my mom driving from the greenhouse. Now, my mom's no longer with us, but that is her to a T. Maybe if a bra was flying with the flowers in the wind. So I wanted to put bigger tires on this though, and this is just a button punch that I had in my stash, and it's Martha Stewart one. And I just wanted to show you any circle bigger than the original tires. Go around one way and cut all angled slits. Flip it over, go around and cut all angled slits matching up with the first slits. And you'll get these little V's and then straight parts. V's and then straight parts, which looks exactly like the teeth of a tire. I don't tread of a tire. I guess it's not tire teeth. You can tell I'm not a motorhead. So tire, teeth, tire, tread, whatever you want to call it. But it's an easy way to do it. Now, if you want to do the back and forth V's with your scissors, that's fine too. But I tend to like to do the same kind of motion over and over again. And that's my deal. But I'm taking the full tire assembly that already comes with the die set and then just adding it to whether it's a circle or this specific button. Now you can put them under the wheel wells or you can put them over the wheel wells, whatever you like. I'm going to do one over the wheel well at the front and then one under the wheel well at the back, like it's I'm going to say a Hemi. Does that impress anybody? You know those really big bum trucks? They have that extra big butt in the back. I don't know what those trucks are called, but just like one of them. Isn't that cool? And that's a Christmas die that you can use with the tree, or you can add gorgeous flowers flying out the back. If you have any of the potted sets or any of the rain boot sets, you could also have those sticking out the back of the truck. But I specifically like this because it had real motion to it. Real motion, real movement. Like somebody's on the go and they're just carefree and have flowers flying everywhere. So this die comes with the singular floral and greenery dies as well as the bunch. And so you can layer the single ones over top or you can add them in, which I'm going to fill out this bunch by adding them in. And I'm just basically taking lighter and mid-tone greens with the dark green and just sticking them in there, adding glue to them and sticking them in. Now, if you're a seal kind of person, look at that with the seal on top of it. Now, the book would look really cool with the seal as well, but if you want to do a single bunch of those die cut flowers, there's a great one as well. Okay, here's a big tip. You guys ever seen that Distress Refresh? this is what I do with my big blending brushes as well as my little ones. I give it a little mist, and then I can use up whatever's left of ink on my blending things. Now you can see I used that clean, so I needed to get myself out some more Kitsch Flamingo just to brush a little in the center here. And I'm adding the little doodahs onto the flowers. So there's a little kind of spidery center for the one flower, and then there's really little tiny flower buds that can go on here. You can add them or not add them, whatever you like. You do you. And you know, they're pretty easy to put on. They're in a small cluster of dies, so they're not hard to run through your tiny machine. And then little centers, which you can add the centers that are kind of like the side view of a cupped center or not, whatever you like. So I am just going to run a bead of glue down the stem, and then I'm just going to plunk them right in there. And they're going to grab in some spots, not in other spots. Don't worry about it. This is art glitter glue. It'll dry clear and somewhat matte, not too shiny. Nobody's going to notice them. Don't make life hard on yourself when you're crafting. Do it the easy way, and you'll find that it gets a lot easier, because matching up those little stems from the ones that you're adding to the ones that are already there sometimes is a little bit of a deal. So I'm sticking that one in the back and hoping it catches a few leaves on the front. You know I'm going to have to wipe off this desk or it's going to be a mess. It's been hard to keep it clean to begin with, but I'm doing my best with it. And then if you have any stems that kind of awkwardly overlap each other, just slip your scissors in there and give them a little trim. So here's my last little guy that I'm going to put into the side. I'm trying to make sure that I'm not repeating them exactly beside each other as I'm doing them to give them more of a haphazard kind of look. And there's that little stem that I was talking about that looks awkward the way it's coming into the side of the cluster there. But that's it. Bada boom, bada bing, you're done. And that's not my expression, is it? You know who that belongs to, Laura Basson. She rocks. That girl's awesome. All of these little perfume bottles would make excellent short little bottles to put flowers in. Cut the top caps off and use the bottle. Use your dies, dig into your stash and see what goes with what. The nice thing about the Scrappy Tales supplies is that so many of them work together. So many of them play nicely together, and I think it's absolutely fabulous. Now, Sabrina has umpteen dozen little clusters of flowers that you can run through, so I just keep running them in my white scraps, and I keep a good size baggie of them. And I think that this would really benefit from adding just, you know, a little odd flower here and there, just giving it that kind of little spray of who knows what, maybe some baby's breath, or maybe, you know, I don't know what they would be. What would little white flowers be that would be out this time of year? Who knows? Little white flowers, cute little white flowers. Snow on the mountain, maybe. So my flower garden's just starting to get itself blooming now, which is always very exciting for me. And I have to stay out of the garden because of my back. I've been on some bed rest lately with my back, and I've had some crazy stuff going on with my thyroid. So I've been anxious to get in the craft room and also trying hard to stay out of the garden. So we have this all stuck together, and this Life is a Story paper pad that Sabrina has done. Oh my goodness, it is gorgeous. I love it so much. So many beautiful papers here, and so many different ones that you can use. And of course, she's reused a lot of the images from the dies, so you're going to get a lot of kind of congruency here. And if you can't put a busy kind of die cut cluster together over top of your pattern paper, always make sure that you put something that breaks, gives the eye a break when it's looking from one to the other. So I have this little arch, but it's actually from this A7 birthday book cover plate. Gives you a couple different butterflies, and hope your birthday is one for the books. I think that's what it says. It gives you this cool stitched arch and then a plain arch for layering. Oh, so nice. Those butterflies are just the best too. I really love the other one. I didn't cut it yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that on my 5x7 paper, and I'm going to put my little flower arrangement on the book here. But once you put in these layered pieces, you know, you get it pulled together like this, it really starts to paint a picture. So I've put all kinds of dots of Tombow Mono Multi on here. It's taken me years to remember the name of this. I let it dry. Let all those dots dry so then they don't squish out the front. And that way when you pick it up and you put it on here, nothing's going to squish out, but it is going to grab amply onto your paper. And the little tiny dots will also keep your gold foiled papers from puckering. That's what you want to do. Little small dots, let it dry, then stick it to your base. I'm going to use some ATG on the back here, and then of course I have some packing foam sheets. I'm putting that on. I love using up stuff that would end up in the landfill, and the nice thing too is that when I stick these on, I can see through to see where I need to cut the excess off. And ATG works perfectly, and so does Tombow Mono Multi for sticking that garbage sheet. You can get it. Ask the people at Michael's or Home Goods, Home Sense. They'll have that stuff. Any little boutique that has little gifty items or jewelry, I'm sure they throw tons of it in the garbage. It is free foam tape if you want it. All you have to do is add the sticky to it. So me and my glue boogers, which I haven't done for a while, but this is what I do for all the little tiny things. Just take a little bit of ATG or a tape runner, pull it off of your roll and roll it up. So you have like a little tiny thin sausage of sticky. And that little thin sausage or little tiny wad is perfect for sticking behind these things. Bigger wad for bigger flowers, whatever you need. Take a little bit, stick it behind, and it will hold everything down perfectly. No need for cutting glue dots into micro sausages. Hey, did you know that there's 2 different sizes of ATG? I have a fatter one. It's a 1/2 inch one so that I can stick things to the base. So there's the 1/4 inch, or maybe it's a 1/4 inch and an 1/8 inch, I think is what it is. But it sticks everything together perfectly. Now I could have moved those flowers up higher if I wanted to, but this went exactly the way I wanted, and I just stuck with a love you. It could have been love you, Mom, but we're so close to Mother's Day. I won't have this card moved into my sales bin until it's after Mother's Day. Now I just wanted to show you, if you cut these in metal, these flower sprays, and add white flowers, I have a retro flower that I sculpted. That's the next video I want to do. Look at these yummy retro flowers. Oh my God, the trio is got a discount on it. If you get a chance to get the 3 flower sets, oh boy. But if you just want this book set and the flower spray is not going to do you wrong for anything. You can put 3 of them together and a sentiment in the middle. Now I'm just showing you, I put little pencil marks, anything that's going to be hidden or, obscured by the eye, little pencil marks, and then I know where to put things back when I'm gluing them down, because sometimes, you get some composition together and then you can't remember what you did. I also took a scoreboard and put some score lines around the edge of this. It's slightly smaller than a 5x7 base. I always make 5x7 cards. You guys all know that. Anyways, I'm just using the back of the stamp protector here, and I'm lining this up so you can see, I can see my pencil marks, and then the truck's going to cover that over, and then there's a couple little dots along the bottom of the truck so I know where the tires and the bottom of the truck go. I've got my Happy Mother's Day here, but if you're going to make this card, you can put Happy Birthday if you'd like to, and I'm picking that up. Of course, I didn't pick it up the way I wanted to, so I'm using the grid lines in the edge of my stamp here because I do not own a Misty. It's a little bit rich for my blood at the moment. Someday in my dreams, I will own a Misty. I'm getting some Versa Fine Morning Mist. I'm going to just test this out here and make sure that it's doing well when I'm stamping, and it is primed up as a stamp. I'm stamping that down. Now the scary part is if this doesn't work, what do? I would just cut myself out a banner and stick it right over top and stamp it properly. Little dots of Tombow Mono Multi, let that dry. I'm going to add my base, card base, and the card front. And then what I'm going to do is run my thumbs along the edges there and just pop them up. It's going to give the edges of that more dimension than it had originally. I'm going to line this up with my pencil marks. Nobody's going to see them because I've slid them slightly over top. Put my truck on, and we are away to the races, friends. I hope you like this video and learn some things. Bring your imagination to everything that you do. Do not stop. Die cut your things out, stamp them out, look at them, and pair them up with other stuff. Enjoy your stash. You probably have a lot more combinations available to you to make cards with than you ever really even realize. Thank you so much. Hopefully you subscribed already. Don't forget to leave me a comment and give me a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next video. Everything is listed below if you use anything that you thought that you might like to get. Have an awesome day. Bye.